Hey everyone, what is going on? My name is Nick and welcome back to Nick Express, where I like to express my opinions on a variety of different topics, and I'm finally coming to you guys with Use Illusion 2 full album ranking from Guns N' Roses. So yes, I've been gone a little bit again, went on a little trip. It was a bit unexpected, so that's why this video, or these videos, because I'm doing Metallica after this, have been delayed. But I don't want to lollygag that much at all, but had to reference that I've been gone. Gonna do a poll after I do these two rankings from Metallica and Guns N' Roses here. So the poll will basically just be for Metallica and Guns N' Roses, asking you guys which out of the albums I haven't covered that you would like me to do full album reactions to, then to the ranking of those, just like I've been doing since the summertime, I guess, when I started all this. But yeah, guys, I want to get straight in this. So if you are new here, please click that like button, subscribe, join on the conversation, because as I like to say, this is a place to express yourself just like I am. And yeah, these are too edited. I would like to make these pretty relaxed. And again, I'm no critic. I'm just a guy talking about music. A guy that just likes to listen to music and give his opinions on the stuff he likes. So again, I'm not some musical genius. A lot of my friends know way more about like musical instruments and Joel here. He plays guitar and his brothers play drums and stuff. So to me, some of it could be foreign and I have to find different ways of explaining my thoughts, but hopefully you guys seem to enjoy the other stuff. And I got notes with me, of course, just to go over the stuff that I want, and it's my whole ranking list so I can make it easier on myself because my memory ain't always the best. But here we are with Guns N' Roses, and we have technically 14 songs, I guess you could say. I don't really want to call it that because I kind of labeled it 12 songs, but I said I'd mention it in the ending of my reactions of this album. And My World and the Don't Cry alternate. I almost said alternative. Maybe it is. I don't know. So the Don't Cry alternate and My World. The Don't Cry alternate is a song, and it's not like I didn't enjoy it. Like there were some people, I think you were saying like how could I compare it, or like I really wasn't quite understanding what you were saying, because the whole point I was making was just that like if I had a song from Don't Cry, because there's two versions of it, I would want to listen to the original one because that's just my preferred one. If you guys like the alternate one, that's great, man. I enjoyed it enough, and it does still have that Don't Cry sound, but I don't know, I'm used to the original. I feel like majority is, but if you like it, hey, that's all good, man. But it just wasn't exactly my cup of tea and wasn't my favorite thing because I've already heard, in my opinion, a more enjoyable version of it. But again, that's just me. And My World, again, it was like a prank, it was like a joke. So these aren't really, these are just mentions because I can't really rank them. If I mean, they're at the bottom technically because out of the whole list, I'm starting with these first. So these are technically on the bottom, but I'm not really counting them on my list here, even though it's 14, technically 14 songs. So my opinion is I don't have much else to say about them because I really didn't enjoy My World that much, to be honest. It's just one of the first times I was like, I don't know what. I mean, you guys explained it to me, but it was just kind of like, I don't need to listen to this again. I don't know. I could find better stuff. But yeah, Don't Cry alternate in My World. It's there. Not the worst thing in the world or anything, but just nothing that exciting or brand new, I guess. I don't know. But getting into my actual list here, starting at 12 after the ones I just said. Get in the Ring. Now, with all these songs, Guns N' Roses is a band that I really, really like, man. I really, really like them. Like, love is a strong word, and I do say it sometimes on the channel, but like, man, their discography is so good. And not all their songs land, but even with all their albums, even the ones like number 12 here, Get in the Ring, I don't hate this song. I don't even dislike it. It's just out of the ones that I say, and I'm going to try and make this the last time I say it just so you guys understand. But Get in the Ring, being number 12, does not mean it's the worst song that they have. If you like it, that's great. I still have enjoyment for it, but it's the one out of this entire album where I'm just kind of like, it's it kind of made me laugh. It's funny. There's interesting things that they do, but it just that to me that's not the type of song I want to listen to. And from the Guns N' Roses standard and from a good majority of stuff I've heard so far, that's just the one where I wouldn't really come back to it as much, but that doesn't mean I even dislike it. It's just it's an acquired taste, and I know Guns N' Roses has their type of flavors that they like to throw in different areas for different reasons, and I appreciate it all, man. And so this being on the bottom does not mean that I don't like it or anything. So just clarifying that this entire list, even though it's, based on a 1 through 12, lowest to highest is how I'm going. I, with all the other album rankings I've done, if you want to go check those out and see it, I basically like all their music. So it's really hard for me. Like, and I would tell you guys if I really, really didn't like a song, like kind of like My World or like something like that, like if I felt strongly about that, I would go ahead and tell you because I got nothing to hide, man. These are just my thoughts. Again, I'm not some music expert, so I'm going on and on, but I want you guys to know, especially if you're new here, that this whole list is just my thoughts and opinions from what I've heard and how I feel. But yeah, Get in the Ring number 12, as I kind of already talked about. So going off on that, just it's on the bottom, not my favorite one, but still one that even though I wouldn't want to come back to it as much, does not mean I dislike it anymore. So get out of the way. Number 11, Pretty Tied Up. Now this one, I really did enjoy this one. There's the highs and lows, and obviously Guns N' Roses is able to like kind of not contradict, but they know how to level themselves out, especially musically and talentedly, just with the amount of instruments and just the way they mix everything together. And they have so many just good points. And I'm gonna try to make this fast because I've already been talking too slow, I feel like. But and plus I talk about my pointers and everything in each of the reactions. So if you want to feel like my deep thoughts, like or at least the perspective of right after listening to the song, definitely go check those out because they're like prime fresh thoughts on the song. So those are my first takeaways from hearing the song for the first time. That's why I do them on the channel. But these are just me talking about my ranking and why they're on there. So yeah, it was pretty tied up. It was one that I really do enjoy. Again, not my favorite, but as we get higher and higher, you know how that works. Pretty Tied Up had a lot of good stuff going for it. I like the drummings. Drummings, is that a word? I like the drumming and the guitars always. There's just some things, maybe whether it is in the mixing, and I'll get to more of that with some of the other songs on here. It's just really, I'm not used to like mixing on rock songs that much like this. Like, I have gotten more used to it after listening to Guns N' Roses more, but this one it just felt like sometimes here and there, there's just certain areas where I enjoy the song, but it's like, maybe they could have done something different there, or it's just like it's hard to pinpoint what it is again because I'm not the one creating the songs, and I'm sure that's what they were going for, and they succeeded in what they were going for. But again, still really enjoy it, and I would come back to this one a few times, maybe not a ton, but I would come back to it. But it's just one that I had to find a place for the list. I was like, I gotta put it on 11, man, but I still really enjoy it. Number 10, we have Locomotive. Now, this one might surprise you a lot. And again, this is where I'm saying the list isn't based solely on if it's like the best thing ever or not. Like, Locomotive is a really good song, and it had grown on me since I've listened to it. And it's hard for me on number 10 because I had to double check, go, I don't even know what the words I'm trying to say here, but I doubled down on listening to this album, man, to make sure my list. And like, Locomotive's a great song. You got killer guitars roaring in this one. There was a certain aspect, excuse me, man, horrible timing. Like near the end, again, the mixing was kind of off, but like I really still like this song a lot, and it's such a great song. But I just found that the top ones had just so much more, the higher we get, and it really was hard for me to put this at number 10. But this is how good this album is. There really isn't any bad songs. That's the whole point I'm saying. This really isn't a bad album by any means. There might be certain low points or things that could have done better, or maybe certain choices that could have been changed. But at the end of the day, you got a band here, and most of you guys know because you're watching this. Guns N' Roses knows what they're doing, and it's really great stuff, man. So again, number 10 does not mean that I dislike it or don't like it. I gotta keep saying it because I know some of you probably think this is like one of their best, and I mean it is arguably like some of their best music. But I had to put it number 10 because I just thought the ones above it, I just have so much amazing stuff to it. And while I love Locomotive and really enjoy it and come back to it, we got to get to the next one. So number 9 being 14 years. Now, this one, I think the only reason why I put this one above Locomotive is because it felt like it had a bit more of a kick to it in a certain sense. Like all these songs have a kick to it, I guess. It's really hard to kind of like narrow down certain words for Guns N' Roses because you could apply almost most of what they do in all their songs. Like, not that they do everything the same, but like most words, like they do the guitar's always great. They do the drumming always great. The voice, like the thing, like the mixing and like the certain like vocal melodies or like there's certain aspects you can like go around and be like, okay, I can pinpoint this and this and this, but like 14 years, this was another one that I wouldn't want to maybe come back to a ton, but I really found enjoyment and it kind of like I don't know really why. I'm still trying to figure it out, but it felt like it connected with me a bit more than Locomotive, and maybe the mixing wasn't as weird. And sometimes that does do it for me, as I said before. But really do enjoy 14 years. It's not one I'm gonna be like, oh, let me just put on 14 years, but I really do enjoy it. And again, after listening to my list here and hearing me talk, because I'm trying to go through each one and just tell you guys my list and the quick reasons why. Go check out those reactions if you haven't, because those are my first takeaways, and I can really deep dive into my thoughts there without having to rehash it here for you guys. But 14 Years coming at number 9, really enjoyable song. Let's keep going. Number 8, we have Breakdown. Now this one, I'm trying to put it into the right context here. I enjoyed this one a ton, man. This one, it's weird because I like this album so much, but you can't put them all at number 1 as much as I was as much as I would like to. Breakdown, it kind of gave me a feeling of Locomotive, but I don't know. I just really thought that they maybe have landed it a bit more, or just the way they did it there. Like this one, I want to come back to, and like it just kind of like you put it on. Just I don't know, groove is the right word, but like I just have a good time listening to this song, and it's not my favorite one, and it's not like, in my opinion, like one of their best ones, but it's just one that you can just be like, yeah, this is Guns N' Roses, having a good time, super enjoyable, and just again with what they're bringing musically and I guess most of the time with the writing too, just and the singing, just all of it, just do a fantastic job and just make you really enjoy the kind of music that they're bringing to the table here, and it's really good stuff. So coming in at number 7, we have Yesterdays. Now this one, because these are in like the beginning of the album, 14 Years and Yesterdays. Yesterdays, after coming back to it a second time and a third time, I kind of appreciated it more than the first time, because every time I hear a song for the first time, I really have a good time with it, but then you reflect more, you kind of like get to, especially when I'm not being recorded and I can just kind of like feel it through a bit more and just maybe like be in my own headspace and just like do that in my own kind of way. You definitely got get more sense of like how you think and feel about a song. Not all the time, but I feel like a good portion of the time you can change your perspective doing that type of stuff. And Yesterday's just really, this one has a drive, and of course they have plenty of drives like momentum in their other songs, but this one just like, again, not my favorite one, but it's like the more we get and they craft these just well written songs and they just know what they're doing. And the thing I appreciate about them the most is just that they know what they want to do and they do it. Like again, I'm not like some I don't know all the details about the Guns N' Roses life, but from what I have gathered, they try and stick the landing. They try and do everything that they want to do in a song. And I mean, dude, they've had sex in, or at least Axl has had sex in his songs. Um, and that's just like, if you could put sex in a song, like that's actually happening, I mean, you're gonna be able to put anything else in there, I would think, almost. So, yeah, I really enjoy Yesterday's, man, and I'm trying not to repeat myself, but it's just hard when all these songs are just so enjoyable for their own reasons, and you know that they're always bringing something so good and creative and musically with their instruments. So we got to keep going with one of my favorites here, but it's at number 6, which is "You Could Be Mine," and this one is a great one, and being one of the well, actually, the the technically last song that I heard before "Don't Cry" alternate in my world. This one was just like out of the album. I thought it would be in the top 3, but I was just like, man, I love this song so much because I really do love the song. This is one of the ones I would actually want to come back to the most, but you'll see in the top 5 and why soon. But yeah, number 6 is still so great, man. Like this one is just a jam. You can tell that they're just roaring the guitar as much as possible with all their solos, and And the mixing here wasn't that weird. Like they did mixing here this time, but it was actually in a way that I really liked it, and that's the way I like when Guns N' Roses does it. And it's just I can't keep rambling on and going on and on, but dude, You Could Be Mine. It's a great song. If you haven't heard it, go check it out. It's just what haven't they done that they just can't do with their instruments, man? It's insane. Number five, this one, dude, these top six are like we're getting. Number five is Estranged, okay, and this one is just it is ranked as one of their best, and it is so good. I can't put it at number one. I just can't because it's not my number one. But kind of like You Could Be Mine, but maybe more what's the word? They really go all out in this song, and being one of their most popular songs, you can see why. It's just so unique. There we go. You like a lot of Guns N' Roses before. I haven't heard them since last year now. Dang, it's been last year. Estranged is one of those ones that really took me off guard. You can't like Don't Cry. Excuse me, man. Don't Cry. November Rain and Estranged are like these three songs where they're all different, but they're all like the most popular for a certain reason, and you can just see why, because they just bring something new and different to the table without copying their flavor, but just bringing in new elements, and it's just so good. And I love Estranged so much, and super replayable, as You Could Be Mine and some of these other ones. But man, it was so hard to put this at number five, but I had to pay respects to the ones that I just really liked. So coming up to number four, we got Knocking on Heaven's Door, man. And this one is also some of their most well-known and popular songs. And I believe I had heard this song at least once or twice in my life before doing these reactions and stuff, but coming back to it and just hearing it after listening to Guns N' Roses in general for the channel, man, they knocking on heaven's door. It's just I know I'm getting I don't know about goosebumps, but like just thinking about the song, This Is Strange. Oh my gosh, man. I just put it above Estranged just because I love Estranged. They're almost basically tied, I feel like, but um I think Knock on Heaven's Door has just got this kind of like different energy than Estranged, where it's just kind of like an anthem in a sense. Um Not that you can't sing songs together from Guns N' Roses, because you can, but I don't know, maybe just the anthem feeling, or just like the way it builds up towards the end, where like they slow down and they build up again. I just love when bands do that, and Guns N' Roses knock out the party. I want to listen to it right now, to be honest, just thinking about it. So it's definitely a car I love to. It's definitely a song I love to play in the car. I almost said to play a car in this song. See, it's making me think weird stuff, man. But great song. I feel like most of you have heard these songs by now. If you haven't. I mean, you guys have watched my channel, so anybody watching this should have heard these songs already, I'm guessing. Number three in the top three. Now, this one might be surprising, and you guys seem to be surprised from when I did the reaction. So Fine is number three. Now, no hate me, man.